guys have both had moments with like pop divas. You were in the Taylor Swift era for Antihero.
Yes. I flew all the way here from Ibiza!
You're in the moment.
You do need rest.
Oh my God, that's
true,
right.
Yeah.
It's both of us doing our kind of Kathy Griffin in the Eminem video.
May I have your attention, please?
She's like the nurse.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like that, I think that is like a rite of
popping
passage for
into
comedians.
Yeah, totally.
Well, it's on that end. Are you a sexy baby or a monster on a hill? How do you identify personally?
Sometimes I feel like everybody is a sexy baby, and I'm a monster on the hill.
I'm gonna go sexy baby.
Yeah, you're a sexy baby, and I'm a monster on the hill.
No, John, no.
I think I'm both.
Yeah,
Hence
it's always
Maddie's
both.
secret. It's always both. It's both is huge for us. Oh yeah,
We do
this
a
is
lot.
huge.
We do
Yeah.
this a lot.
Like the
It all- it
geography
means
of comedy.
different
Cross
things.
sections.
Yeah, sometimes it means no, and sometimes it means intersections.
Yeah.
I love the flexibility of that. It's interesting because like watching you guys as comedy, there's I think critics, and I admit to this, like struggle how to describe it. You get called surrealist, you get called alt comedy. Like because you had to sell this pitch to somebody, how do you describe your comedy in that?
You know, there are a million reasons why you could look at it and think, oh, it's just so odd and insane or alternative, or, you know, but like at the end of the day, why I think I miraculously did not have that much trouble getting this financed was because, well, first of all, it was not that expensive. But second of all, the whole reason I wanted to do any of this is because I wanted to try and make something that was traditionally entertaining. Like, even with all of its
classic.
kind of
It's not-
weirdness,
yeah.
it's like at its heart, it's very cathartic in like a classic melodrama way.
familiar.
Yeah, it's very cozy and familiar, and like, and it's very propulsive. Like, I wanted to see if I could make something that was propulsive and driving and narratively satisfying. And so I think, as weird as this movie is in some ways, it's actually, like, at its core, it's like,
not even weird.
yeah, I know. You're right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Kate and I like to make things that are full of feeling.
Yeah.
You know, we like comedy
The
that's
emotional
full
sincerity
of feeling.
is like the thing that I think is always has to be there for it to work.
Yes, and then we let the culture say we're alt or odd or surrealist or avant-garde.
Meanwhile, I'm like,
no, I know.
yeah, I guess that's
Yeah.
like really pushing the boundaries.
Yeah. Crossing my eyes. Yeah.
For your character Dina, there's that intensity that's so fun to watch. Can you talk a little bit about like how you decided you wanted that to be a part of it and finding the balance in that?
Well, John, I mean, it's all on the page. I mean, John really like told me about the role. I was so excited, of course. And it was all so constructed and cogent. And so it was just very like, it was so easy in the sense that like I knew what the bit was. John's direction is so encouraging and so clear that you're never like lost or anything. So I mean, it was just very fun. It's an archetype. It's a familiar trope.
Yeah, and
that's
we
so
like
funny and fun.
doing that kind of like that psychosexual dynamic.
Yeah.
Like the kind of I don't know. That's always been funny to us, and I think we've always dreamt of, respectively, and then together, we've always dreamt of like, well, what if we could do a longer version of that? You know, it's like we're always just trying to be like, well, what about a little bit longer? Like, what about 12 minutes instead of 6 minutes? Now, what about a feature length? You know, and so it was really nice to like it slotted in so beautifully to this movie. But I also should just say, I mean, I think Kate's performance is like totally devastating, and as I was saying to you the other day, it's like the perfect balance of like it's a high style kind of comic exaggeration, but also like it's so nuanced and there's so much innocence in Dina's eyes, and like for us, like even though some of Dina's actions are troubling in the movie, like Maddie's, like everyone else's, it's like there's like this real just longing in her, and that Kate does so beautifully. I never had to tell you to do. That's what Kate brought. It's like I wrote on the page, it was like total archetype. And then Kate brought like so much humanity. And some of my favorite moments in the movie are just like little moments where Kate's eyes like get really round and she's like just like looking at Maddie, you know. And also like one of the original jokes of the movie for me was just like the audaciousness of making a movie where everyone around me is sexually attracted to me.
Yeah.
Where every character is like sexually obsessed, and I was like, damn, and it's like, you're perfect.
There's an incredible sex scene, and it's like so real.
Yeah.
And there's like actual chemistry, and it really feels. It's not like a groaning like it's like a genuine like sex scene.
And that to me is the key to the humor of this movie, is like actually committing to. It's like that. There's always like a multivalence, with every moment in this movie where it's like on the page it seems funny, and then you commit to it and it seems actually kind of stirring and cinematic and sincere and emotional, and then after that you have this like kind of delayed feeling of like, oh my God, this is the funniest thing in the world because they took it so seriously. And then it's like that. And that's what I hope the movie does for people is like a kind of, you're kind of always moving through those stages of like experience of the movie.
Yeah, I'm actually very genuinely curious because you perform a female orgasm in this. And I feel like in comedy,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of subtlety.
Yeah.
Like props to Meg Ryan.
Oh, God.
We love her.
Yes.
But it's like, it's usually, even like Charlize Theron in The Long Shot and stuff like that, it's usually like this very over the top thing. So I'm curious for you when you're like, okay, now I'm going to do a female orgasm. Like, what is, and you're directing yourself.
Right. Which,
Like,
imagine the hell of me being like, Eric, and now you have to do this. And I'm like in the wig. That is for some reason something that like you and me, we can do. We've
in conversation.
I don't know, like we've put that in our work. Maybe it didn't make it. We did in Santa Monica, that one short.
Oh
thing.
yeah, we have. That's right. We have a sex scene. In
Yeah.
a short film called Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Available on Vimeo. But there's no audio.
Oh right. But yeah, I mean, there was a real narrative reason for the orgasm. It's not like.
it's not a punchline, to be clear.
No, totally.
Yeah.
No, but
And it's one of
that's
the-
what
it's one of-
made it easier to act. Is like there was a real clear thing where the whole point of it was like for her to be in this moment of like uncontrolled ecstasy, and then to see the picture. Of
There's
her
an, as I was gonna say,
mother.
there's an element that
Yeah.
that the viewer had.
Yeah,
that's-
Yeah,
It's
that like
key.
takes her
there's
out
a
of it.
darkness
Yeah.
that's like,
And it's hysterical.
and it's the like, it's that orgasm is actually the kind of psychosexual nucleus of the entire movie, because it's like food and sex. It's like mother,
Yes.
food, sex.